Guess whose birthday it is? I'll give you a clue. She is the oldest child in the household, and she plays the trombone. Can you guess yet? These are some French toast bites, and I'm going to put a little bit of sugar on it just for Jana.
Don't forget it's Jana's birthday today.
Yes, child, I know. Yeah, there you go. Now, I had Jana about 2 o'clock in the morning, so it's actually well past her birthday. So she's officially 12. I'm waiting for her to get out of the bathroom so I can get a couple of pictures and so she can come out and eat, because we have to leave in about 45 minutes, and I still have to wake up Annie, so. So how many of us watched American Horror Story last night? How many of us actually enjoyed it? I love that series immensely. One of my favorite things about the series is that they have the reoccurring cast to play different characters each season. Last night was really good. I really enjoyed it immensely, but there's a lot of confusion behind it, and I'm going to break it down and explain some pieces for you. Number one being, I'm a Carolina girl myself. I grew up on the east coast of North Carolina, not too far away from the Outer Banks at all. And the town that I grew up in is also associated with the Lost Colony. Okay, the number one complaint that I've seen is that where they stated they're located, it can't be 2 hours away from Raleigh. Here's the thing. There are several small towns east of Raleigh, about 2 hours away, that are associated with the Lost Colony. My town being one of them. There are a handful of small towns, Plymouth, North Carolina, Edenton, Windsor, Creswell. You got Washington County, Bertie County, Pitt County. Oh, and I think they also included Bath, the town of Bath in there too somewhere. But all of these small towns are about 2 hours away from Raleigh. Okay, because I have an aunt who moved to Raleigh, and it took us about 2 hours, driving time to get there. So it is feasible to live close to the beaches and still be 2 hours away from Raleigh. Because I grew up there, I know the area very, very well. I was raised there all of my life, from the time I was born to my early adulthood. So I know the state very well. I also know a lot of the state's history. From what I do with my genealogy work, I actually know a lot of history, a lot of folklore, and some things people don't like talking about, including Afro-American, Caribbean, voodoo history, which occurred in this state. Early NC history, you have to find it. It's there. Trust me. This is where the stick dolls come into play. Those voodoo stick dolls, people are crying out that it's a rip-off of the Blair Witch Project. No, it's not. Let me tell you something right now. Our state has a very dark history of slaves and voodoo. It's there. People don't know how to look for it. Well, wait. People don't want to look for it because they don't want to talk about it. But it's there. It's unfortunately a part of our history. I'm not condoning slaves in any way, shape, or form. I'm just explaining the stick figures and the stick dolls that you keep seeing in horror movies and associated with devil worship. So if you look into the East Coast, particularly of this state, we had a lot of slaves from the Caribbean and from the Bahamas and that region. High voodoo territory. Now, some of these slaves actually were captured from the Caribbean, taken back to England, and then brought over with the people associated with the Lost Colony. It's there. Look for it. I promise you, it's there. Hence the voodoo dolls and stick dolls and devil worship. Because everybody's claiming it's from horror movies and it's being a ripoff. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's there. It's part of our condensed history that people either A, just don't want to talk about, or B, just don't want to believe because they can't find the evidence. There's evidence there. There's evidence of cannibalism. There's evidence of voodoo. There's evidence of all kind of holy hell mess that went down with the Lost Colony and the towns that are associated with it. I'm not joking. And a little fun fact, if you watched last night's episode, you saw when she goes into the woods, and yes, the woods back home are that thick and get lost just like that. Even though I know it's filmed on a studio set over in California, our woods are that condensed. You can get lost very quickly. My brothers have gotten lost. My mom has gotten lost. My aunts have gotten lost. It can happen very, very fast if you're not paying attention and if you don't know your way around. But you see that the scene when the land keeps moving up and down, it looks like the ground is breathing. That actually does happen. That is a natural phenomenon on the East Coast for the swampy area, like the Great Dismal Swamp, the marshes, places around the Sounds and the rivers and the Outer Banks and the Roanoke River and the Albemarle Sound. They have all these swamps. What happens, the gases in the waters get trapped underneath the swamp and looks like it's breathing. It's actually pretty cool, but there is a scientific explanation behind that. I personally grew up on the Roanoke River. I come from a small town of Plymouth, just in case you never heard that name before. And the small towns, including mine, that surround that area have been connected to the Lost Colony via DNA evidence, via archaeological digs, via just everything that they've finding lately. And today's technology, we're finding so much stuff. And I was gonna save this for a genealogy video, but my family itself is connected to the Lost Colony. My surname, my mother's surname, and my grandmother's surname are all listed under the DNA surname project associated with the Lost Colony. You can actually find this. It's called the DNA Lost Colony Project. I'll bring you to a website. I'll give you a list of surnames that are associated with the Lost Colony. It's pretty neat. And we've known this for a little while. So we kind of just dug into it, and we're just really ecstatic. So when they did the whole Lost Colony, it's called My Roanoke Nightmare, I was like, yay! I was like really excited. But there's a lot of confusion behind how can you be that close to the beaches and still like 2 hours away from Raleigh. It's possible. It really is, because I lived in a small town that was actually pretty close to the beaches, but yet 2 hours away from Raleigh. So it's very, very possible. I just wanted to clear that up because I love this show and I'm really, really excited for this season. So Jana's birthday party is Saturday. I know exactly what I'm going to do for her cake. She wants a red velvet cream cheese frosting cake. She loves red velvet so much. But I'm going to do a piñata cake. I also wanted to do a gravity cake. If you don't know what a gravity cake is, look it up. They're really fun to make. But they take forever to make. I have all the time in the world on Saturday to do this because I have off. I requested off for her birthday party. I'm definitely going to do the piñata cake. It's very easy to make. I don't know if I'm going to do the gravity cake or not. I want to try, but I don't want to screw it up either. And I'm going to do different candies for the gravity cake. And I'm not sure what kind of candy I'm going to put inside the piñata cake. I might do Reese Pieces. I'm not sure. But I'm going to figure all that out Saturday morning. Because early Saturday morning, I have to get up extremely early and go get the stuff for her cake. Because her daddy is going to go take her to see a Suicide Squad, which she's been patiently waiting for. Now, Jana loves comic book movies. She loves horror movies. She's like me in that sense. She had an early understanding in between fiction and nonfiction. So that's why I kind of let her get away with watching certain things, because she just loves it like I did it at her age. At her age, I was reading Stephen King novels. Carrie was the first Stephen King novel that I picked up, and I was maybe a little younger than her when I read it, and I loved it. And as long as I could understand between fact and fiction, my parents didn't mind at all, because Stephen King is a bestseller, you know, author. And I was reading, I was really advanced, you know, in my classes, because my comprehension was through the roof. So I noticed Jana following that same path. Like, she loves comic book movies, she loves horror movies, she loves all these little things that I loved growing up. And all those things, the horror movies, the comic book movies, the movies that I enjoyed growing up, led me to find like some of the best friends that I could ever make. So I told her just to stay true to what you like, and the right people would come into your life. And that is so incredibly true. Jana also has that fine line in between. She knows how to make friends, but yet she also enjoys a little bit of solitude every now and then. She has to go away from people just to kind of disconnect and decompress, because she can feel kind of like how I can feel, like the layers of energy. If you're around somebody for too long, you can just feel their energy and it makes you sick. That's kind of what she does. She kind of just goes away and just gets away from all that until she can, you know, just regain her strength again. But she's looking more and more like her daddy every day. Don't tell her I said this, because she gets really mad. Not that her dad isn't a handsome guy. He is handsome and smart and intelligent, but just loves his kids to pieces. But she was a spitting image of me when she was a spitting image of me when she was first born. And she looks more and more like her daddy every single day. Like, from the age of maybe 7 to now, she looks more and more like her daddy. It's so freaking weird. So I'm making a basic cake just for today, because Saturday she's getting a really big special cake. So I'm just doing 2 different colors, a blue and a green, which are her favorite colors, and it's just the basic funfetti mix. But I'm gonna do a marble lava cake using homemade chocolate frosting and fudge. It sounds complicated, but it really isn't. It takes just a few minutes to throw everything together. So what I did now is I divided up the batter into different bowls so I can spoon it in as I need it, just to get the marble effect. And you want to continue to do that until all the batter is used. This is a basic frosting made from milk, confection sugar, vanilla, butter, and cocoa. I'm gonna let it sit in the refrigerator for a little bit because it's kind of thin, but other than that, it's actually coming along pretty well. Now the homemade fudge sauce is gonna go inside the cake as the lava part. All it is just a mixture of butter, sugar, and regular cocoa powder. Then you want to add the milk in, and then you stir it, and then it comes to this lovely milk chocolate consistency and look. That's going to go in the middle of Jana's cake. Then you're going to want to take a cup and put it directly in the middle of the cake, just wide enough to get the hole that you need for the chocolate. Press down and bring it up. Voila! once you've completed filling the inside of the cake, you can just put the top back on. You can see it's kind of oozing out a little bit. That's okay. Pretty much ready to decorate from there. I have to still frost it, but after I finish frosting, I'm going to have to put it back in the refrigerator and let it sit for maybe about 10-15 minutes. Got chocolate in the center.
Well, my friend just asked me what.
Is it good? Do you like it? Is it good? Do you like it? Is it yummy?
I can't wait to see Suicide Squad on Saturday.
You're gonna have another cake Saturday. It's gonna be a little bit bigger.
What?
You're gonna have another cake on Saturday. It's gonna be a little bit bigger.
Oh!
That's not your official cake.
There's more cake!
That's not, yes, there's more cake. That's not your official cake. That's just the cake for today. Okay? Happy birthday.
Bye!